Hello and welcome to Forex New York Session live stream. Today is 8th of August and first of all we will look at what we were anticipating in yesterday. Anticipating in London session, we were anticipating buys in gold. Those buys do presented themselves. I executed on those buys. I gave three chances to those buys and it basically didn't play out. We just got stopped out before moving in our direction. And yes, now if we look at gold, in gold we are approaching a potential zone at 1784, and this whole move up happened in pre-New York, and there is a probability that we can create some sort of resistance in here and potentially keep pushing down to further retest this area, but it is just an anticipation. For now, trend in H4 and H1 is strongly bullish. And if we look at GBP JPY by looking at H1 time frame, I can assume that there is very little to no volume in GBP JPY. If I look at M30, in M30 we are just consolidating in this zone, in this area of 20 pips. We need to break above this zone to execute buys and sell below this area. In gold I executed three trades and it was just the probability of things not working out. A better trade appeared right in here. Once we moved up, we moved down, and there was probability that we will fill this range or at least touch previous candle highs. We will refill this range. It was just an anticipation, and it basically played out perfectly. It happened out of our trading session. I was away from screen, that's why I didn't execute it on this trade. Today, in my opinion, is a slow day. We are just consolidating. However, we will wait for NYSE session. There is a probability that we can get good trades at NYSE. For now, we are waiting for this M30 candle to close. This execution was based on M5 time frame. Once we start breaking above highs, I placed my stops around 10 pips, executed this buys. But I will say it is just the probability of things not working out, and I have done the best on my end. There will be days when I will execute on this setup and it will play out perfectly and we will make money. For now, we need to wait for 4 more minutes. In GBP JPY we may find some sort of pattern at NY open or at NYSE, and if we look at H4, this H4 candle will close in 1 hour, and it is rejecting from the support zone, strong H4 support zone, and we have prior rejection from strong H4 resistance. We are in this 100 pips of range, and candle is about to close. All right, candle has closed. We have broken above this little range in first 30 seconds of this H1 candle, and in 20 minutes from now Comet Comics will open. If we look at GBP JPY, the M30 candle has broken above the candles to left. There is lot of information in candles. We need to wait for 3-4 more minutes. I was anticipating this move the entire day, but I didn't get to execute on this move, and this is the way things are in Forex market. and I will execute buys in GBP JPY if we break above previous candle high for potential take profit of 40 pips. And in gold, the the move is over in my opinion, but we as of now we don't know. I am waiting for this M15 candle to close, and in GBP JPY I will execute buys above this area around 13 pips of stop loss. M5 candle has closed, and M15 candle is flipping bearish, but we are not concerned about that because 8 minutes left in this M15 candle to close, and there is a probability if we break above previous candle high we can keep pushing up. That's why I will leave my buy stop in JPY, and in gold we are waiting for candles to close. No indication in gold as of now. I am not looking for buys because we have moved around 57 pips away from zone, and if I are to execute buy, I want some sort of consolidation, support or resistance formation in here. And in GBPJPY, if we break above previous candle high, we can potentially keep pushing up. That's why I have placed my buy stop. Let's see how it plays out. Alright, buy stop got active. Placed an initial stop of 11 pips around 9 US dollar risk, and potential TP is 18 pips. On the other hand, we will manage our risk if things go against us. Alright, the trade is running in profits. I have put my stop losses at break even, and the whole idea is M15 candle has closed with the no wick at the top, which is a concern for me. And let's watch this, what will happen on here. And in gold, the 15-minute candle has flipped bearish. The Comet Comics will open in 4 minutes, and we need to potentially break above the wick to left to keep pushing up. And but the M30 candle has flipped bearish, H1 is also flipping bearish. We need to wait for this candle to close. It will be in our best interest to just wait for M15 candle to close. In GBP JPY we are retracing down, it is expected. On the other hand, if we are to move up, we are also not anticipating that we will get stopped out. But anything at any time in forex market can happen, so we need to be careful with. We are okay with both the outcomes. It will either hit our break even point or it will continue pushing up. Anything can happen. We are okay with everything. And in gold we are waiting. Yeah, we got stopped out. It went in it went in 12 pip profits. Then I decided at that point that I will break even my trade and let it run, because there was probability that we will continue pushing up, but that didn't happen and we got stopped out. And now we look and focus at gold. Comet Comics will open in 30 seconds. This is a small zone prices are creating in M5 time frame. At this point, Comet Comics has opened. If we break below this area, we can potentially keep pushing down in this 28 pips range. Let's see if Comet Comics will do that. No, GBP JPY has traced all the way down. It was a very good idea to break even my position. Yeah, we are moving up. In gold, the short idea on gold has killed, at least for now, and we will wait. In GBP JPY, if the closes like this, and on next 15-minute candle we start to break below these lows, then there will be a probability that this thing is a fake out and we can potentially keep pushing down in this 46 pips of range. So we need to wait for 7 more minutes. pushing up. Now the next resistance will be around this area at 1790 area. Let's see how this M30 candle will close in GBP JPY. Alright, candle has now closed, and M30 candle has closed weak bullish candle. If we started to break below the lows later on in few minutes, then I may execute shorts to potentially fill 162.800 area. And in gold, M30 candle has closed a strong bullish candle. And yes, we are waiting, just waiting, nothing in both those pairs. Placed a sell stop in GBP JPY. Once we start breaking previous M30 low, I will execute short by placing a stop loss of 12 pips. Yeah, I was anticipating this thing in gold. We need to wait. We are waiting for candle to close because we moved up almost around 120 pips, and now we are creating this candle. We are waiting for it to close. If it closes like a bearish candle, then maybe we will have a probability for prices to fill this range around 53 pips. But at this point it is early. It is too early to anticipate these shorts. In GBP JPY, if we break below previous M30 candle low, we can potentially keep pushing down. And yes, that's my anticipation, and I am waiting for that to happen. And in gold, we need to wait for 11 more minutes. M5 candle has closed a strong bearish candle one, and it is the first candle of this M30 candle, and it is a big deal that it has closed a bearish candle. And if we look at M15, we have a small zone in M15. We need to break below this zone to fill this area of 34 pips. And in GBP JPY, if we break below previous candle low, there is probability we can keep pushing down and we will execute a sell position. If we look at H1 candle is leaving a rejection to upside in first half of this H1 candle, and M30 candle is resting on this M15 zone. We want this M15 candle to close so that we can anticipate a trade on next M15 candle. This sell stop in GBP JPY is only valid if we if for current M15 candle. If current M15 candle closes a bullish candle, then we will just remove this sell stop. And in gold, I am waiting for this M15 candle to close, and I may execute on next M15 candle. So this sell stop is invalid, at least for now. And if we break above previous candle high, we can potentially keep pushing up in this 31 pips of range. And in gold, we are waiting for candle to close, and candle is about to close. And I will place my sell stop below these lows in an anticipation that if we break below the lows we can keep pushing down in this 26 pips of range. Although there is probability for current 15-minute candle to flip bullish and continue pushing up in GBP JPY, but this is the last 15-minute candle of this H1 candle, and I think we should wait for next H1 candle to execute this position, because previous 30-minute candle rejected from this area, so maybe the current M30 candle may also reject from this area, and on next M30-minute candle we can keep pushing up. So I am waiting for 15 more minutes in GBP JPY, and in gold the previous M15 candle closed with no wick at the bottom, and let's see how this H1 candle will close. We are heading towards NYSE open in 42 minutes. NYSE is usually high volatile time, and there is probability we can get some good trade at NYSE. The way this H1 candle is closing, I basically just don't like it, because it has a huge rejection wick to upside, and it is moving down after three bullish H1 candles. So it may be a retracement in a trending market to continue in the direction of trend, but as of now we don't know about that. Maybe after this M15 candle close we can get an indication. If we look at GBP JPY on On 2nd of August, right in here, we were creating this area. Once we broke above that area, we get two M30 candle rejecting this zone, the lower zone, the support level, closing up near the highs, and maybe we can get this type of scenario today in GBP JPY, but we are waiting for M30 candle to close for that. And in the gold, I do believe that this move down was a retracement in a trending market for prices to potentially keep pushing in the direction of trend. So I am waiting for M30 candle to close at this point, and I will remove this, and we will just wait for now. We need to wait for 9 more minutes. I am waiting for this M30 candle to close, and I will execute buys once we break above these M15 highs. These trades that I have taken, these two trades in gold for potential TP of 50 pips, I was very confident that we are moving up, but the whole idea is we got stopped out. But there will be days when this type of setup will work, and at least for today it didn't work out, and it has high probability of working on high volume times. I have tested this pattern, and I hope so tomorrow or the day after tomorrow we will get some good trades based on this pattern, so it is not an issue. In 6 minutes this M30 candle will close. I want it to close somewhere above this zone, a bullish candle, so that I can anticipate buys on next M30 candle for a potential range of 30 pips. And if the volume is with us, we can even continue pushing up to this range around 100 pips. But for that we need to wait. I want to execute short position here, but the whole idea is we are about to close in 3 minutes, so it is better for me to just wait. All right, GBP JPY is also closing the way we want it to close. Just waiting for candles to close. All right, I am planning to execute this sell position once we break below these lows for a potential TP of 25 pips. My stops will be around 10 pips, and in GBP JPY M30 candle has closed bullish, and there is very high probability once we break above these wicks we can continue pushing up. The whole problem in gold is previous M15 candle closed bullish in an uptrend, which may mean that we have created a support at 1781, and if we break above 1783 previous M15 candle high, we are pushing up. That's simple and straightforward. The trend in H1 is bullish. This candle came out of, oh my god, we yeah, basically let's close everything in here. I should have waited, I will say. All right, the whole idea is the previous three candles closed bullish, and this candle came out of nowhere, closed bearish, and maybe we can create some sort of support in here and continue pushing up. That's why I closed this trade very early. I shouldn't have let this trade to execute, and I am planning basically buys. Yeah, we lost around 16.2 US dollar, around 1.35% of account today. Five trades were taken. This trade went in 8 US dollars profit, around 12 pips. I didn't secure anything, and it later hit my break even point. So yeah, we need to wait for current M15 candle to close, and once next M15 candle starts to break above previous candle high, we can execute buys for 35 pips of potential take profit. And in GBP/JPY, the candle has broken below the low, but we want this M15 candle to close. Today is tough day, I will say. Today was very rough day to trade, but still we executed on position potential trade setups, and yes, we have broken below M30 low in just first 4 minutes of this M30 candle, and alright, M5 candle has closed in gold. Alright, I have executed buys in gold by placing a stops of around 11 pips. We are already down around 4 pips on this trade, and no man, nothing. Today isn't our day. We will come back later tomorrow. We have lost 25 US dollar on our account today, around 2% on my account, and yeah, there is still a probability in gold to keep pushing up, and the whole idea is how we will execute on this M15 candle. We will just wait in here, wait for the current M15 candles to close. If we look at GBP JPY, we have basically broken below previous H1 candle low, and yeah, there is probability that we will drop 36 more pips, but let's see how this M15 candle will close. In gold, we will wait, give this buy trade a second chance on next M15 candle, and yeah, this trade, this buy trade was an early execution in my opinion. That's why I will give this buy trade a second chance. We need to wait for 4 more minutes. All right, we have broken below the low to left, and just wait for a few more seconds. All right, M5 candle has closed. Placed a sell stop below this M5 candle, and for a potential take profit of around 22 pips. We will we will not look at GBP now. We will only focus in gold. We are planning sells below previous week. Let's see if we can get those shorts. Other than that, we will just call it a day. Today was a very bad day. I lost around 2.5% of my account. Alright, M5 candle has closed back inside the range, so this trade is invalid. And this trade is basically based on the idea that the overall trend is bearish, and I am anticipating we will fill this wick 10 pips away, and if the volume is with us, we can even continue pushing down. So that's why I executed on this trade. I will just manage my risk on this trade and let it run. The M5 candle has closed, and let's see how current M5 candle will close. We are waiting to break below previous low, previous M5 low at 163.200. If we break below this low, we can potentially keep pushing down 14 more pips, but we need to wait and look to see if we can break below or not. I will break even this trade and yeah, let it go. Although there is very high probability of it getting stopped out, but I guess I am okay with the result. We are about to get stopped out. Overall, this trade was a success because I was targeting this wick fill at 10 pips. So yeah, it basically completed its target. I didn't close anything and we got finally stopped out. And yeah, this is the way things are. In gold, we have no volume because of the wicks and small body candles. And in 1 minute, New York session will open. NYSC session will open. Maybe then we will have volume. Alright, at this point, NY session has now opened. We are breaking below the lows. Waiting for this M5 candle to close. Alright, this M5 candle broke below the low, closed back inside the range, which indicates little to no volume. We are consolidating in this range, and we need to wait for 9 more minutes for this M15 candle to close, and on next M15 candle we may get something. All right, we are waiting for 3 more minutes. Still, there is very little to no volume in gold, and let's see how this M15 candle will close. Alright, 15-minute candle has closed back inside the range. It has closed a weak bullish candle, and there is no information in gold at this point. And if we look at GBP JPY, if we break above previous highs, we can potentially keep pushing up in this 32 pips of range. And I will wait for 5 more minutes. Yeah, gold has finally broken above. I was anticipating this thing, and it is a good thing if we can find some execution on next 5-minute candle. And in GBP JPY, we are waiting. Just 5 more minutes, else we will call it a day. It was rough day, lost around 25 US dollars. And if we look at previous Monday on 1st of August, we were nearly around break even. Let's see how this M5 candle will close. If it closes the way I like to see, then I maybe wait for 15 more minutes. Other than that, I will just call it a day if it closes back inside the range. Alright, M5 candle has closed, and I am basically anticipating buys for potentially 22 pips, and but the whole idea is I am also waiting for next 15-minute candle. Yeah, H1 candle has flipped bullish, and waiting for next 15-minute candle is important in here, because we have I wanted to see if this candle actually closes outside the range, or it is just an a or it is just a wick like we have 4 previous wicks. On next M15 candle, when that candle creates a lower wick and starts to break its own high, I will then execute buys. GBP/JPY, we will not execute anything on GBP/JPY now. And in gold, I am waiting for next 15-minute candle. I want to look at how this M15 candle will close, and on next 15-minute candle I will execute a potential buys. Alright, I will execute on if we break above this M5 candle high. Although it is about to close in 30 seconds. And yeah, now if we break above the high, there is a very high probability we will secure 10-15 pips from this trade. Other than that, we will just call it a day. Alright, GBP/JPY is now breaking below the lows. The probable range is only 17 pips or maximum 30 pips, but there are a lot of rejections to left and there is little to no volume, so I will not trade in GBP/JPY. We are only looking for gold. If it breaks above 1784, we will execute a position for a potential take profits of 21 pips. Stops will be around 10 pips. 4 minutes left in this M5 candle to close. Trade got active. Place a stop of 11 pips. We will manage risk if things go against us. Closed 50% of position right in here. Closed everything. No man. Actually, I should have waited for this M15 candle to close. We are not getting any chance to trade. Lost around 2.5% of my account. Waiting for current M15 candle to close. Alright, GBP JPY has potentially reached that area that we identified. Man, we are moving up. That's what I was anticipating. This M15 candle is 27 pips big, and the whole idea is I am waiting for lower wick in this M15 candle, and it seems like we will not get that wick. We will wait for few more minutes. Alright, at this point we will call it a day, because even if we get a lower wick, we can only get like 10-12 pips from this trade. And today was bad day. I did an over trading. We will take that into account also, and from tomorrow we will see if we can find some good trades. For now, take care and have fun. See you guys tomorrow.